AITA for not telling my baby's father I'm pregnant? I am a grad student who met Caleb during one of my classes last semester. He had just broken up with his childhood love, Victoria, who ended the relationship because her parents disapproved of Caleb. Meanwhile, I did not want a relationship but did not mind having sex. We were extremely clear from the start that it was sexual and not romantic. We didn't blur the lines, and I learned that I don't want to date him anyway. He's good in bed, but he's too immature and hung up on Victoria. He also does not want children, but I do. He told me a few weeks ago that Victoria had finally cut off her parents. Caleb decided to get back together with Victoria, and our relationship came to an end. Fine with me, but then I missed my period. Despite using condoms, I'm pregnant and he's the only candidate to be the father. I want to keep the kid since I'm fortunate to have financial security thanks to my part-time job and family. My degree is also nearly complete, and I'll obtain a relatively high-paying job straight away based on first-year salaries. I'm absolutely comfortable with raising this baby alone with the support of family members, and they agreed to help me. Caleb and I don't have contact anymore, so it won't be difficult to hide. I don't want to harm his new relationship by forcing my child into his life. Victoria is too young to be a stepmother to another woman's child, and I believe she'll leave him for real this time, which would absolutely shatter him. He would certainly be happier with her than financially tied to me, and I would be happier without him. Plus, Caleb never wanted kids and isn't exactly the most mature person to be a parent. My family accused me of being selfish, but I honestly disagree. I know he doesn't want children and wants to be with Victoria, so I don't see why I should even tell him. It'd just burden him, her, and me. AITA? Update. I thought I'd post an update to my previous post. I followed a user's suggestion and sent an email explaining the circumstances, especially that I don't need nor want Caleb to provide any financial support and that he is under no obligation to be involved in our child's life. As a side note, a lot of people were fixated on the idea that I chose to become a single mother and called me naive for believing I could provide for a child. I said it in my first post, but just to be clear, money won't be an issue. In addition to my plans to earn my professional degree and find a job so I can support myself financially, my parents are eager to help me as much as I need. My parents are also the reason I am a homeowner and the reason I will graduate debt-free. I know I'm very fortunate to be able to say these things, but that's why I talk about money with such nonchalance. I thought it was over when I sent the email and didn't hear back. But 3 days ago, Caleb sent me a message pleading with me to have an abortion. He asked to meet after I said no. When we did, he begged me to abort once more. I told him that wasn't an option, but we could part ways and I wouldn't talk to him ever again if he didn't want to be involved in our child's life. He disagreed, with his main concern being that if he and Victoria did ultimately have a kid, the child would somehow come into contact with and fall in love with their older half-sibling. He was genuinely more worried about potential incest than the fact he's abandoning his child. I basically told him that since his last name is somewhat rare, I would advise my child not to date someone with it, so he didn't need to worry. I'm aware this solution may not work out, but it was the best I could come up with. He then asked me if he could be in the child's life as a fun uncle, but I shot him down since I think you can either be in or out of a child's life, not some weird in-between that plays with the child's mind. He told me he'd think more about it before deciding, but I think he's pretty much going to sign away his rights. We're going to have to meet up again to work out the legal things. I haven't seen a lawyer yet, but I will, and they'll tell me if I need to include him on the birth certificate, and hopefully this will be settled. I don't think he'll tell Victoria about it either, but I didn't ask. If this wasn't the dramatic update you were expecting, well, that's better for me, lol. Unless anything else happens, I doubt I'll update again, so bye and thanks for the advice.